Well, his enthusiasm pumps me up. Welcome back to Benzinga, MITA Unshackled. We're cruising around. It's a great, great crowd today. We just had Doug and Tyler, who were just walking through, jumped on the podcast. And we have another incredible individual who I've known for a little while out of Arizona, the hometown, baby. Here you go.
That's right.
We got Michael O'Brien from Ponderosa, Sonoran Roots fame, Cannabis concentrates fame. So we're going to talk a little bit about Michael and, my co-host.
George Stanchuk, Pure 5, faster, better, and cheaper extraction.
I love that. I love that. The best extraction guy in the country at this point, Pure 5. So we're going to talk a little bit about Michael O'Brien, how you got into the industry, what your background is, and then we're going to narrow down some of your brands and products and what you're up to, and maybe you have a special project or a special announcement you want to talk about. Let's go for it. How did you get into the industry?
So I actually, I'm a corporate M&A lawyer by trade, and I was working with some clients who were looking to do some investment, and I had been focusing on some VC. They started explaining cannabis to me, and I said, this sounds crazy. It sounds too good to be true. This is in 2018 in Arizona, so pre-adult use. We ended up putting together a group, and I helped put together the financing and the structure.
Nice.
And they said, hey, we actually need somebody to run this thing now. Are you interested? And I said, sure. Nobody actually wants to be a lawyer anymore, right? You know that, Dimitri.
Yeah,
so.
I haven't practiced law since 2012.
Yeah. So I am the CEO and general counsel, but definitely way more focused on the operations side of things and just the overall business strategy.
I remember walking into your dispensary over there by the Glendale football stadium, and there you were, right in the middle of all the action.
Yeah.
And you everybody was focused on you. I was like, this is so much better than being a lawyer.
Yeah, we are our ownership group, very hands-on. I think that's something that's differentiating us, and we're in the business, so we can make quick, meaningful decisions. We're present. People know, they see how hard we're working, and that trickles down to our employees as well. So,
have you been over, George? Have you been over to Ponderosa?
No, I haven't been yet.
We got to go over to take a tour. It's really got filled with great products.
Is that in the Phoenix area?
Glendale. Yep.
Glendale.
Right over by the Cardinal Stadium, where the Super Bowl just was.
North of the casino too, right?
Yep.
That's interesting. Okay,
Yep.
Excellent. So Ponderosa, that was your first venture. And I know your famous Sonoran Roots is known as one of the best flower brands in Arizona.
Yep.
How did that come about? Where did it come from, and what's your involvement there?
Yeah, so Sonoran Roots was started myself and a couple of my partners, one of whom is our head of cultivation, Joel, and he was already growing for Ponderosa Dispensary, and they had a very small facility, like a 5,000 square foot facility in Mesa, and we recognized that he was very talented and could scale. So we built out a 33,000 square foot cultivation in Mesa, moved him over there, and the brand just exploded. This is right when COVID hit in 2020. Then adult use passed. We ended up acquiring Ponderosa Dispensary and Cannabis concentrates. Two of my partners were already a part of that, so we kind of merged those groups together. We bought out one party who was no longer active, and that gave us that platform to be fully vertically integrated. We actually just got a second license under management, so we just opened our second dispensary in Florence, is a small town in Arizona. And we'll be opening a third dispensary in Chandler, Arizona later this year. We're really excited about that one. Should be very high volume.
Yeah, Chandler is a good market. We just did an event there called Remember It's. So, Joel's your secret sauce, huh?
Joel's the secret sauce on the cultivation side for sure.
I wonder if I've met Joel. I probably have at some point at one of the meetings. Probably just wandered through, and nobody knew who he was or something.
He stays out of the spotlight.
He stays out of the spotlight. No, I got to meet Joel. I love cultivators. I love the magic that they do behind the scenes. So you got Sonoran Roots, which is one of the top 5 flower brands in Arizona.
Reader's Choice, Best of Phoenix, New Times 2022 for Arizona. Yep. So,
and then Cannabis concentrates. Yeah,
Cannabis is our extract line. We do some CBD, but we're focused mostly on the traditional THC concentrates. So, very large presence with the BHO extraction. We also do solventless.
So he likes solventless extraction.
Yeah, well, we like it all. We focus on quality. So one of the key differentiating factors for Cannabis is we only use Sonoran Roots flower as our input material. So you're getting very, very high quality input.
Interesting.
Going through a good extraction process with some qualified people. We do a ton of live resin. We actually just launched our all-in-one 1 gram live resin cartridges that don't have any cotton in the wick. It's a ceramic coil, specific aperture designed for live resin. So that's 100% just the plant. No distillate, no added terpenes or anything, and they're awesome. They just launched at Ponderosa, and they're hitting the wholesale market now as we speak.
Now, this leads into we're seeing the extraction stuff. If you put greenhouse, and it's great that you use just Sonoran, high quality, top notch flower that everybody loves. So you would probably believe and know that there's a difference between the extracted material that comes out of this great Sonoran roots and the swag you get out of Mexico or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert. I'm not a scientist, but there is a difference.
Absolutely. I mean,
how does that work? I mean,
it's like using, it's just like using a high quality food ingredient, right? When you're going to make a meal, if you start out with a really good cut of meat, you're going to get a better finished product, right? So we really play for our house brands, and we do a lot of toll processing for other people, and we process lots of other people's material for their product as well. And there's some great material out there for greenhouse and outdoor. But for us, all of ours is indoor material. We're usually doing whole plant extraction, not just trim for our fresh frozen and our live products for sure. For the cured, we will use the sugar leaf trim only. So it's still very high quality, tons of trichomes on that. And
seems like it'd be more expensive this way, but you need a better product.
It is, and we're okay with that. We're okay being, it's going to cost more to get quality. Just like I'm okay paying an extra $1 or $2 for a really good cup of coffee instead of the stuff that you're going to get at a gas station. I want that quality coffee. So that's kind of the approach we take to both our flower and our extract products, is that we really want to make sure that the customer's never going to be disappointed. And that's why we focus on that Sonoran Roots input material, because it's going to be fire in, fire out, as we say.
George, where do you see the values now on the concentrates from your customers? Are they looking more for the terps, natural terps? Are they looking just to knock them off? Very high concentration distillate with artificial terps, or botanical, or they're looking for shatters and
so
balance?
we make the full suite of extraction products, but I can tell you right now, you will never find an added terp in any of our extraction products. It's only going to be the cured material or the live material. Because our material is so good, we don't have to do it. We don't use any CRC or remediation. So, the value customers are looking more at that shatter and crumble. We're going to use a certain
understand color.
Absolutely.
Literally, because sometimes they say, I need it light color. Come on. When you buy a whiskey, what color you buy?
Exactly.
So that's the natural color of
exactly.
cannabis too.
And that's the other thing too, is how we're treating the material coming in, right? So that's age of material. That's how you've handled it through the process, how you've stored it. Is it airtight? Is it sitting in, crappy bags, or did you vac seal it? So we take a lot of care in our product when we're harvesting and trimming to ensure that that's going to be a really good input material, so that customer gets the good experience. So even like our shatter products are going to be a really good experience at that price point. Obviously, if you go to a live batter, that's going to be a higher quality product with a higher price point, right? But
this is the kind of guy you want to work with. You have the right. You have the absolute right attitude, and you're a mergers and acquisition lawyer.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn this stuff?
You learn
to listen
from my business partners, and they. I've always been. You can see this market. Obviously, like the plant is being commoditized, right? And so there's only a few ways you can differentiate yourself. You can be a brand, and you can go out there and spend more money in marketing, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's an avenue, right? We've chosen to say, hey, the way we can differentiate ourselves is we have some really talented people and some facilities that are built appropriately, and we're going to make sure that every step of the way we're treating that product delicately and in the right way to get that final output product. Because at the end of the day, when someone goes to the store and they say, it may not be that we sell for more, but it just might be that we always get the sale, because if you're spending $45 on a cart, you're just going to say, well, that cart's always good. That one's super terpy, and, I can taste it. I can smell it. It's loud. It's going to get me a good high. But we definitely are focused more on the terps. The good thing about marijuana is you can always get more high, right? Yeah. But you can't, no matter what, you could have 99% purity and be super high, but it may not taste or smell like anything. We want it to taste and smell like something. We want you to get that full flower experience, even in a concentrate.
It's strain specific, exactly. The terps
all strain specific for us,
and that science of strain specific medicine that really comes in. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
When I was at Bloom with my brother's thing back in the 2015, I remember they got pre-rolls, and I asked them what strain, and like, no, we just mix everything up. And we're selling I'm like, well, how does that work?
So we just started selling.
I don't know.
We just started selling wholesale individual Sonoran Roots pre-rolls. We don't make any pre-rolls with trim or shake. It's flower only. It's going to be the same flower that you're going to buy in an eighth. So we're not saying, hey, that's a pre-roll customer. We're going to sell them, our lowers or whatever. We're going to give them that same flower experience. And then, so we sell the individuals. We also have a brand called Charlie's, which is a joint venture with our partner Quinn in Arizona. So that one is going to be a 5-pack of all Sonoran Roots flower, and those are sold all over the place at any dispensary. Pretty much, you can find those now. So we're selling those for $35 for 5.6 gram pre-rolls. So you get 3 grams for $35.
Excellent.
They're quick. They burn great. And again, it's going to be all flower only, right? So that's going to be only Sonoran Roots flower. You're never going to get any other brand's flower in the Charlie's pre-rolls.
So if people want the retail experience, they can go to Ponderosa, obviously, but you can get Cannabis concentrates, Sonoran Roots packaged flower.
Yep. Yeah. So Sonoran, real excited about Sonoran Roots. So we've been selling bulk almost the entire time we've been growing, because we've been really focused on expanding operations and kind of staying lean. And we finally gotten to the point where we feel comfortable where we want to roll into the pre-packed flower. So we just launched jars. We started at the 20 True Leaf stores in Arizona.
It's called Sonoran Roots.
It's called Sonoran Roots. It's got a Sonoran Roots logo on the jar. I wish I had one with me.
Yeah,
but
I wish you did too.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
my producer wants one.
Yeah, we'll be in. That's our first foray into pre-pack wholesale flower, and so we're definitely really excited about that. You know, we now are covering about 90% of the dispensaries in Arizona with one of our SKUs. Right. So out of the roughly 150-ish dispensaries out there, we're in probably 130 of them in one form or another, and expanding every day in terms of being able to get. And, we try to do. The other thing we do at Ponderosa, as you know, Dimitri, is we do the deli style flower. That's how we differentiate our home store. There's something about walking in and just seeing that big jar of cannabis there, right? It's part of the experience, and we crack it open when we're selecting your buds for you. And you get that smell, and you get to say, hey, I want that one. That one looks really nice right there.
Right.
So we've stuck with that deli style flower, and we'll continue to do that as long as the state allows us to.
You guys are killing it. You're doing everything right. I think Jordan's over there thinking the only thing they could do better is use Pure 5 extraction machines. But
I thought about 5-6 times.
It's 5 or 6 times. No, you guys are a great company, and you're really doing it right. And the exciting thing is what's next, and so. That's one of the reasons why I've been working on MITA USA and supporting the brands. And, I'm always going to have a bias for my home brands out of my home state, like Cannabis or Sonoran Roots. Mm-hmm. What do you guys see on the horizon expansion-wise, getting out of Arizona? Interstate commerce is going to come eventually. But right now, there's all these licensing, royalty deals, partnership deals.
Yep. Are
you guys moving out? Are you thinking about moving out under this model? What's your...
Yeah, I mean, so as everybody in cannabis knows, 2022 was a challenging year, right? And 2023 is already starting as a challenging year. So we're very focused on Arizona right now and kind of making sure that we have the right footprint to handle, because we're production heavy right now. So we're kind of right sizing that, making sure that we've given ourselves the flexibility to adapt to the market. If we need to push more through retail, more through wholesale, we're going to have that flexibility with the 3 stores online this year. In terms of expansion out of the state, we're definitely interested. And I think, again, our focus on quality is something that we've chosen, and we know that we're going to be able to actually go to other states and say, hey, this is what we do in Arizona, and we can replicate this here, whether it's genetics, whether it's building facilities, managing facilities. We're going to actually be able to go and say, the proof is in the pudding. Just come look what we've done in Arizona. And not everybody's going to be able to say that, right? So that's why we continue to maintain that focus on the quality, is that's going to help fuel that expansion when we're ready. But we are way more concerned with operating efficiently and being the best possible that we can in the market than just willy-nilly going multi-state just to say we're a multi-state operator. It's about success, right?
Or MSB, multi-state brand.
Exactly.
I like that.
MSO, MSB, it doesn't matter. I was talking to somebody and they said, we have a very asset-light model. We're a brand. And I said, we've taken the opposite approach. We're very asset-heavy. Real estate's a big part of our game. We are the company that brings brands into our license in Arizona. So we have, Jeter operates under our license. Presidential operates under our license. We've had Steezy, 22 Red, some big brands, RR Brothers, Gummies, Abstract Extracts. We have a lot of really good partners. Shout out to Roberto. That's right. And we're bringing in some other people too that we're really excited about. So we like to get deep in partnerships with people and have them working with our license in our real estate.
Right.
And then we like to do business. How can we supply you? How can we carry you in the shop and support each other, right? Because that's, we don't look at this as transactional. It's a relationship business for us. And I think oftentimes it's very transactional. We want it to be relationship based because inevitably someone's going to have a hiccup and we want to be there to help each other out, pick each other up.
So it strikes me, and this is the cannabis industry unique thing. I mean, you got your house in order. You're building a wonderful house. Everything's perfectly. Arizona is your house. You're making it happen. And one day, you're going to have to go outside the house and take Cannamo or Sonoran Roots flower to the rest of the country somehow, or the other people are going to come inside your house and stuff. And so that's going to be a very interesting moment in time. And you probably reflect on that. Probably don't have enough time to think about it. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So, but with your leadership and your understanding of things, I mean, let me help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, I want to introduce you to other people who are looking to carry Cannamo in Illinois.
Absolutely.
Because you're doing everything right. And if you can do something with quality control, you can license out royalty kind of stuff. But you guys have the right mindsets. And I think with quality control, you can probably, start expanding and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're always happy to meet good, competent operators. For us to put our genetics and brand in someone's hand is a big decision, right?
Yeah.
And the same when someone comes to our house and says, "Hey, we're going to trust that you guys are going to do our brand justice." We're coming from California or Illinois, and we're coming here, and you guys need to continue the legacy we've built. We feel the same way. So, you got to have 50 of those meetings to find one person that's going to be the right operator to be paired with you. I'd love to meet anybody, who you feel kind of fits that model in other states.
And I like what you're doing so much. I think, proof is in the pudding. There's a lot of big California guys that are coming to you saying, "Hey, you guys have you have your house in order, take care of our baby."
Yep, exactly.
Which is great. Well, we really appreciate you taking time. I know it's a busy day at Benzinga. There's a lot out there. And wow, I didn't know all this about you. We and I have chatted, but we really didn't get in deep about your operations and what you do. This is absolutely fantastic. George, any closing questions for
I
Mike?
was so impressed from what I heard, and I really want to check your products and work with you eventually in the future. I think I always look at the concentrate as a gourmet rather than just technique of extraction of resins and providing experience to your clients.
Yeah.
And then you get them back every time.
Yep. No, we'd love to have you guys out at the facility anytime you're in Arizona and come check it out.
And it's Dr. George. He has the scientific knowledge that I'm lacking. So his oversight, and he's watching carefully. He's like, okay, Mike knows what he's doing. Check.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so how do people get in touch with you?
So you can check out our company. We're at www.sonoranroots.com. If you search us on Instagram, that's going to pop up too. Ponderosa.com for the dispensary, Cannamo concentrates, or Cannamo.com for the extracts brand. There's a contact us form. If anybody wants to get in touch with me directly, reach out through that contact form, and they'll get me connected with you.
Excellent. This is the quality of individuals you find not just at Benzinga, but also in Arizona. So thank you very much for joining us from
Thank
MITA
you.
Unshackled.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
nice
this
to
was
meet
great.
you. Thanks
This
a lot.
has been another episode of MITA Unshackled.